Now to continuing coverage of the missing Michigan woman in the Bahamas. The search continues more than a week after Lynette Hooker went overboard and disappeared. We're still waiting to hear if police in the Bahamas will charge her husband. The 59-year-old tells police it happened when they encountered bad weather while taking their dinghy to their sailboat.
We're less than 2 hours away from the deadline in that case, where Brian Hooker will either be set free or face charges.
13 on your sides, Callie Lichter has been looking into the Bahamian legal system and joins us now with more. Callie.
Lauren, Elena, the Bahamian legal system has similar charges to what we see here in Michigan, meaning there are several options if they find Hooker criminally responsible for Lynette's disappearance. As the hours draw closer to the deadline in the disappearance investigation of Lynette Hooker, her husband, Brian, will either be charged tonight by the Bahamian government or be let go. Although Lynette is still missing a week after going overboard, the search has moved from a rescue to a recovery. As Brian is questioned by both Bahamian police and the U.S. Coast Guard, there are several potential charges he could face if they find he is responsible for his wife's death, even if he never laid a hand on her. The Bahamas has a manslaughter charge, which is if officials say while Brian might not have meant to hurt Lynette, his actions were so careless that he is criminally responsible for her death. This could be brought against Hooker if they deem the saddle float he allegedly threw to Lynette does not meet the requirement for a life-saving device under Bahamian law, which it does not in the United States. Police could also charge him with manslaughter for a perceived delay in reporting if they feel the several hours between Lynette going missing and Brian reporting it denied Lynette the chance of being found alive. If they find that Brian was the operator of the dinghy and his actions were negligent, he could also be charged. While Brian's accounts of that night on the dinghy posted to Facebook, told to friends, or posted by his attorney give no indication there was an altercation leading up to Lynette's disappearance, in a phone call obtained by 13 on Your Side from friends of the Hookers, days after his wife went missing but before Brian was charged, he says the pair had been coming from a bar and weren't wearing life jackets.
When we came out of this bar called the Abaco Inn, we came out of the channel and instantly got into the chop. We weren't wearing life jackets. Pepsi.
And Lynette's daughter said last week intoxication led to arguments. If prosecutors in the Bahamas believe Brian had an intentional hand in Lynette's disappearance, he could be charged with murder, similarly to the U.S. The U.S. Coast Guard is also investigating this case, and since this is a U.S. registered boat and the parties involved are U.S. citizens, they could refer charges to a U.S. federal prosecutor under special maritime and territorial jurisdiction. Bahamian police have until 7:20 p.m. tonight to charge Hooker or let him go. A U.S. Coast Guard official says they are conducting a criminal investigation into Lynette's disappearance, but does not comment on ongoing investigations. Elena and Lauren.